And today I'm going to be going through some things you can do as a tarot beginner with your cards. So ways that you can learn them, some actual practical tips on getting to use the cards and different spreads that you can try as well. So you might have seen some of my other YouTube videos, such as learning how to read the tarot intuitively and getting started with the tarot. And I do believe these will be very helpful to you. So if you haven't watched them, go back and watch those as well. They're really good for getting into the card and really feeling out the meaning of it. But you might be wondering the next step, which is, how do I lay out the cards? How many cards do I pull? What do you do with them? That sort of thing. And that's what I'm hoping today is going to answer for you. Now, one of the first things I'm going to suggest that you do is something called a daily draw. What's a daily draw? Well, you can do this one of two ways. Some people just plop the cards down on the table and every day they will come and pick the top card. Oh, hello, that's the moon, and then put it down, and then the next day, the next top card, so on and so forth. So you can definitely do it that way. The other way is to shuffle them every day. Now, the difference with this method is you may get the same card multiple times, okay? So you're going to be doing more of the card that you really need rather than just the cards in order, but some would argue that the cards in order are also what you really need. So that's totally up to you, whatever works best with your brain, okay? The shuffling first method is going to take longer to get through every single card, just based on chance and probability. So what do you do once you pick your card, all right? So pick your card of the day. Usually I like to do this in the morning, all right? So you might say, okay, 7 of Swords. That's this card right here. Then you need to write it down, because I'll tell you what, you can forget them very easily. Trust me. So start a little tarot journal and just say daily draw at the top, write down the date and say 7 of Swords. Then this is the important part. I want you to write down what you think it means. I don't care if you have no idea. Do what I've said in the intuitive reading one. Look into the card, pretend you're the person in the card. What are the colours telling you? You know, is it a Swords card? Is it a Pentacles? You know, that sort of thing. So you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, this guy looks like he just stole a bunch of swords. Am I going to go and steal some swords? No, don't think so. But maybe he thinks he's going to get away with something. Oh, okay. Doesn't matter. Write that down. Get away with something. You know, sneaking off, that sort of thing. And then forget you pulled the card and go about your day. At the end of the day, when you're about to go to sleep, pull up your little journal and look at what you wrote. Now reflect on your day. Could this card have meant something else? Did you have that feeling of like sneaking away from something? Did you ghost someone at a party? Like, did that come through somehow in your day? If it didn't, then this is a time for more reflection. Look back at the card, you know, think what else it could have meant, and look up the traditional meaning and write the traditional meaning underneath. Now, I've actually had a lot of success with my first intuitive meanings, meaning more to me than what the actual traditional meaning is, okay? So I've gotten to the end of the day and thought, this card means mediumship. Look up the traditional reading and go, that is absolutely not what this card means. This card, I'm talking about the 9 of Swords here, that's my mediumship card. You know, I've looked at it and gone, this means sleepless nights. What? That's not what I got, but what I got meant more to me. And now when I do my readings, if I get the 9 of Swords, to me, I'm like, did you know you have mediumship abilities? Or someone on the other side is trying to contact you. Or have you been trying to contact this person? It adds a layer of depth that is personal to my readings when I read for someone or for myself that other readers are not going to get. Okay, so your intuitive readings are really important. Write them down, keep a record of them. It's a really, really, really great skill to have, and it's a really good you know, habit to get into, doing the daily draw. I think you'll get a lot out of it. Now, the next thing you're probably going to want to do is a spread. And I'll tell you what, when I first bought my cards, all I wanted to do was some tarot spreads pretty much straight away. Now, you can find tons on Pinterest that you can try. I offer new moon and full moon spreads with my rituals through my Patreon page, which you're welcome to look up. They're going to be custom to the energy of the moon. But all you need to really do is pull a card and assign a position to it. That's what a spread is. So your spread may be as simple as one card. You know, what do I need to know today? An opportunity will present itself. Okay, that is 4 of Cups. Or you may bring up 2 cards and maybe say, I have a decision that I want to make. Should I do, you know, go with this decision or choose something else. So you may do 2 cards. All right, King of Swords and King of Wands. That's neither is going to be wrong. One is the logical, one is the passionate one. Which one do you want to fulfill? Okay, so looking into different options, that's a really great spread to do. So just looking at the outcome of 2 possibilities. You can do different things like a 3-card spread doing past, present and future. So for yourself or for someone else if you're reading for them, generally the card on the left is going to be past, the middle card is present, the one on the right hand side is your future card. Okay, so this one has Page of Wands, 5 of Swords and the Judgment card. All right, so you can have this interpretation, you know, use this to just build on that. You can look up the meanings. It doesn't really matter when you're beginning, as long as you're starting to look at the cards and how they weave together and how they sit separately. You know, you might say, okay, Judgment and 5 of Swords, that's a lot of air vibes that I'm getting here, air elements, so lots of like communication, messages, that sort of thing, knowledge. And then Page of Wands is totally different, so it looks like you've gone through a transformation recently and we've changed the way we're going forward. So there's lots of ways that you can do spreads. When you get into the bigger spreads, now I have a spread that I love to use. It has 24 cards. That is a lot of cards. That's part of my deep dive reading, and I don't do that for just anyone. It can get very confusing, and I don't recommend people use those ones unless it is for, you know, a life view type of look at your life. So you can do that yourself and just look at every area of your life now and in the future if you want to, but it's going to be, especially if you're a beginner, it's going to be very overwhelming and very difficult to interpret all of those cards together. So I think if a question can be answered with 1 to 3 cards, it's a good question. All right, you don't need any more than that for a question is going to just confuse you and add too much to the spread. Now you don't always have to use a spread as well. You can do a free flow where you just say, all right, let's just see what's going on, right? So you're not assigning anything to the cards. So you might just go, pick, these cards all came out at once. Let's have a look at them all together and see how they tell a story, okay? So telling a story with the cards, Hanged Man, Knight of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. All right, so you're looking at like surrender and, going forward on a mission of passion, but he's headed this way, right? So this is going back towards what we were just doing. This one's, a card of like marriage and going through tough times together. So you're going to start weaving this through, like, maybe you gave up on your search for love and then someone rode in and, swept you off your feet and now you guys are getting married. Like, that's what you can come up with from a free-flowing spread, It's totally up to you. You don't have to use tarot cards as divination either. You can use them to tell a story, like I just did then. You can use them if you're a writer. You can use them to write a story. You can say, all right, what character flaw is this character going to have today? Oh, Temperance, okay. They are too honest and too accepting and too optimistic. That's a flaw in this character, and you write that in. So there's so many things you can do. You can't really do it wrong unless you're charging for readings and you don't know what you're doing. So as long as you are not charging, just have fun with them, okay? Fun is the main thing. Write it all down. Keep your tarot journal so you can reflect and look back on it. And the act of writing itself is going to embed those meanings back into your brain much better than if you just try and remember them, all right? So above all else, have fun. If you're having trouble connecting to your deck, make sure you pop it under your pillow and give it a cleanse every now and then as well if it doesn't seem to be making sense. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you guys next time.